So British Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced that he would take measures to help businesses in the UK as a result of the tariffs that Trump has imposed. So I've made videos recently talking about the reasons why America has imposed tariffs on other countries. The tariffs on the UK are actually not as high as other countries. I believe it's 10% in the UK and it's higher in France and Germany. But nonetheless, Starmer said that he would do things to support the businesses in response to these tariffs. So to be perfectly blunt, he should just leave office. He's not popular anyway, and there's a lot of things that have been done in Britain that should not have been done, such as increasing the migration flow. That needs to stop immediately. As far as hurting businesses, they can cut taxes. They can begin to deregulate. The net zero thing with regard to climate change, they should eliminate that completely. That would do a lot more to support. See, here's the thing, and this is something that Ron Paul said more than a decade ago when he was campaigning, and this is very true. It's not the government that boosts the economy. People do that. It's the people that produce wealth. The government doesn't produce anything. It just sucks the wealth out of the economy and destroys it through regulation. They need the government to get out of the way. So right off the bat, Starmer does not have the right mentality. Now, some people are praising him, saying that because he said that globalism is dead. What he really means is specifically the idea of, they call it free trade, which it was never about free trade, but there was a series of trade deals with other deals attached to that. And the whole purpose is that the West is going to open up their markets, and these other countries weren't going to do that. It was just, it was really a screw job for industrial countries. And what he really means to say is that that type of deal is over, which is fine. But Starmer needs to just leave that office. The UK, they need to hold elections. And the people in Britain, they need to have an honest conversation. If I was British, I'd probably be arrested because I'm a proponent of free speech, and they don't seem to have that over there, which, by the way, I saw another article. And I'll get to that in another video. But I would have an honest discussion, just like I'm having right now. First of all, if you want a good business environment, you need to deregulate. You need the government out of the way. Second is that, when it comes to international policy, you have to be realistic. Britain, and I'm not an expert in military, my understanding is their military is not prepared to fight any kind of war. So on that note, I would just get out of the situation in Ukraine altogether. I would mind my own business because the British Navy is not what it used to be. And then third, I would negotiate. Brexit would have happened like that. It should happen a lot quicker. They'd been out of the European Union completely, acted as an independent country, and you need to make a deal with the United States. Starmer has been busy talking with European leaders, which is just stupid, geopolitically. He needs to talk to Trump. If I was Starmer, I wouldn't be Starmer, but if I was the Prime Minister of the UK, I would be going to Washington, D.C., and I would have a discussion with Trump. And I'd say, look, there are certain advantages of doing business with the UK. We still have a relatively powerful Navy. We could work on that. We could be on your side. It's nice to have a country, approximate to the European continent that speaks the same language, has similar cultural values. Let's do a deal, okay? We can have something that's mutually beneficial. And if we have a good deal with the United States, Mexico, and Canada, with North America, and you can make deals with other countries too, you don't need the Europeans. You don't need them. So Starmer needs to be on his way out.